Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, my friends, on today's conversation, we have a lot of stuff to tap into on this evening. Big story that I do want to share. It has been going like really viral. It's very, very, very it's a most talked about story here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, but it is a story that's being shared nationally, and that is a controversy involving a flyer, a controversial flyer that was mailed out across the Commonwealth, depicting it was a flyer that invoked Jim Crow and Ku Klux Klan, using civil rights era images while warning voters that their voices were being silenced. This is all in regards to the recent redistricting vote happening in Virginia, where you have the Democrats in Virginia that is wanting to vote for a 10-1 redistricting the congressional maps, leaving their current 6-5 maps to a 10-1, and it is gerrymandering. I mean, that's pretty much what it is, right? It's happening mid census, because I think every census is like every 10 years. And so, and I'll share a clip a little later on, but that, long story short, early voting has already started. Folks have until April 21st to vote either yes or no to the new, to the temporary, is what it says on there, of to vote either for this redistricting change. Anyway, it has gone viral because of this controversial flyer, and the person behind it, you won't believe this, the person behind this is former state delegate Republican AC Cardoza, who was a guest here on the show, and he will be we've already made some schedulings to try and get him back on, because when I first had him on, we were going to talk about what happened to the Republicans in the last election cycle in November here in Virginia. In addition to that, I wanted to ask him, what is the game plan for the midterms for the Republicans, because it's not looking good in their favor. So we were going to share that, and then obviously when you get to having a conversation and talking, you lose track of time, and that's what happened. And so we shared a little more about his, what got him involved in politics, what got him in office, that process, and then we kind of we were kind of having the typical the civil discourse, with some issues. And so again, lost track of time, so I'm like, man, we got to have a part 2 of this. So that's what we were doing. Now, we did not expect all this to happen, right? And I put on, I look at my phone, I see this news article, I'm like, wait, what got to talk about it. So we're gonna discuss that today. Also, just read that former MSNBC president Rashida Jones will be leading Piers Morgan's new media company. I thought that was a cool story to share, to talk about, because Rashida Jones, I believe, was the first Black woman president at MSNBC. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was a history for that network. But she was not there for a long time, and when she had left, you were like, okay, what's next, right? And a little history lesson: Rashida Jones is also has some ties in the Hampton Roads area. She is a graduate of Hampton University. So for all you Hampton University grad, you're probably going to say, the real HU, because you have Hampton, and then you also have Howard University. It's always a back and forth, because I have, in my family, I have Hampton University graduates and I have Howard University graduates, and they're both like HU, and so or the real HU. And so we're going to talk about that. What else do we have on Stan a Day? And check this out too. I was reading The Breakfast Club, the show hosted by Charlemagne the God, DJ Envy, and Just Hilarious. Viewership has dropped. It has dropped ever since they had started to also air their episodes on Netflix, because Netflix now has a category of podcasts, variety of podcasts, some that are Netflix original like podcasts that's through Netflix, or just some of them that are kind of like their partners, and they happen to be airing their podcasts on Netflix. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that as well, and so much more here on the program. Thank you, as always, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into yet another great episode. As you know, we are growing each and every day. We are gaining new fans. We, of course, we have our critics, but we also have those that continue to help grow us and our fan base that truly inspires and motivates us to be a better program. So again, I thank you. We drop new episodes Monday through Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, as well as wherever you get your podcasts. You can also listen to us on the radio airwave. Shout out to our radio affiliates. WBOK, 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then we're going to head over to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. Weeknights, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then lastly, one of our newest affiliates, KSHP, 1400 a.m. and 107.1 FM Las Vegas. You can chime into the Arrington Gavin Show Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific Time. We are so honored to be a part of those amazing platforms. And also, you can watch past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on Goatverse TV. That's right, Goatverse TV. All you have to do is download the app. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. All right, and that is, once again, Goatverse TV. So I thank all of our partners there for allowing us to help grow our audience. Also, y'all, if you could be so kind, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are continuing to see growth in our channel. So if you don't mind, we have a goal, hopefully by the end of this year. It's a far stretch, I will say. The year's moving kind of fast. But if you can help us get to 5,000 subscribers, that will be awesome. Please, ways you can do that is simply by you subscribing, share with a friend, share with family, spread the word for those that are into great conversational shows, and just, personal, relatable, not the whole cookie cutter breaking news, breaking in. Nah, we ain't gonna give you that. We here to give you the conversation that you have at the dinner table, the conversations that you have at a cookout, the conversation you have when you're hanging with the homies in the man cave, or whatever. We're just giving you that laid back, grab a drink conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show. All right, now that I've done all that stuff, man, look, I don't know if y'all have been catching what's on TV lately, but or either through social media, a lot of once Trump supporters, those that publicly endorsed him, are really having regrets. Like, wow, why did I do that? Why did I do that? One of those individuals is none other than the podcast king himself, Joseph Rogan. Yeah, I said Joseph. Joe Rogan. You know who I'm talking about. Joe Rogan has been a person that has not held back his just thoughts and stances on Donald Trump. He's not happy with so far the turnout.
It just seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars. And then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it, which just seems so.
So what's funny to me is that this, Joe, what was going on in your mind when you, for one, voted and endorsed him, right? Here's the thing. I was not mad at Rogan having Trump on his podcast. I'm not mad at that. There's folks out there is like, I wouldn't even give this person a time of the day. Why even give him a platform? Here's the thing. Regardless on how you feel about this individual, because best believe I am not a fan whatsoever. Will never be a fan. Didn't vote for him. Will never vote for him. Okay. When you have one of the largest platforms in the world, in America, really, he has one of the largest platforms in America, in the United States, for sure. You can either accept bringing on politicians, or you can not allow bringing politicians. But the whole theme of, excuse me, the whole theme of the presidential election was that, hey, look, we need to get those young votes. How can we get engaged with the young people? Podcasts, social media, and they realize podcast has larger viewerships than programs on the news. I mean, programs on cable. So they're like, okay, I'm going to podcasts, and Rogan gives a platform for both sides. He gives a platform for both sides. One side accepted, the other never responded or never got in contact with them to what he is saying, because I believe he has said that he reached out to both parties. Now the question is, if Kamala Harris and Trump both had attended the show as individuals, would he have still endorsed Trump? We don't know. A lot of folks probably say absolutely he would. Absolutely he would endorse. Now, we really don't know that, but I will say that Rogan is not a fan of the state of California. He called that place his home for years, and then he relocated to a red state. So right then and there, he'll put a bad taste in his mouth to lean or publicly endorse Kamala Harris. But at the end of the day, it was conversation. So I say all that to say, I'll the same individual, right? I'll have had on people on this show that I don't agree with. I've had on people that I do agree with. I leave equal opportunity. It's an opportunity to have a conversation. That's all, just conversation. That being said, Rogan had him on 3-hour plus interview, which we know how long-winded Trump is. And then after that, the day before, which was very, 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 like, it's insane because Joe has never come across as like, I'm going to be the guy that publicly endorses this guy. Like, it's just, I never saw that coming. But he endorsed Trump, right? Okay. He attended the inauguration. He's very familiar with the, folks that are, MAGA figures. Tony Hinchcliffe, MAGA figure, right? And multiple folks. Now Rogan keeps on repeating like his frustration with this administration, and just like, I feel lied to because you said you're going to do that, and then you said you're going to do this, and now that's not happening. And like, what's up, dude? Like, why would you do that? Like, what's going on? And now he when he talks because I mean, he likes to puff on that herb. Okay, so I don't know if it was like, was he? I don't know, Joe. But he continues to regret. He's not the only one. Comedian and also podcaster Andrew Schultz is another individual who kind of is continuing to regret his vote. Oh gosh, what's the Theo Von? Which, I mean, Theo Von never publicly came out as voting for Trump, but he's been seen multiple times, talking with the presidency, and because Theo Von also attends UFC fights a lot. So it's just interesting. It's very, very interesting. my question for those who listen to the show, who watch the show, who happens to, if you're, not just a Republican voter, but if you are one of those individuals that voted for Trump, do you regret your vote? Are you still satisfied with how he's doing? You know, what's your thoughts? I'm very, very curious. Let us know simply by just reaching out to us by way of our website, www.theagshow.com. For those who are watching, we have the QR code right up there in the corner, so you can just scan that and it can take you straight to our website. And just shoot us an email, shoot us a reach. We would love to hear what you got to say. Or you can DM us on on our Instagram page, the Arrington Gavin Show. It's very simple, and just let us know, man. Let us know. I'm very curious. All right, my friends, we are going to take a commercial break. Do not go anywhere. We got more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back.
6'10", number 1 pick, 16 seasons, College Player of the Year, all-rookie standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to the show. So, as I mentioned earlier, there was a bit of a controversy that has happened, that has gone viral. Okay, so as you all know, in Virginia there is a redistricting battle happening, where by April 21st, right, voters will vote yes or no for the redistricting, where you currently have a 6-5 congressional maps, and it'll be changed to a 10-1, which will give the Democrats more strength, adding more seats, giving them more pretty much more ammunition to win and have a majority of Democratic elected into Congress than the Republicans. Right now, I've shared on this program where gerrymandering I am not a fan of whatsoever. I personally think it takes power away from voters. But to play devil's advocate, to play, to play fair here, you've seen Missouri, North Carolina, Ohio, Florida, Texas, all do the same thing Virginia's doing because they were urged from Washington, from this administration, so they can get more seats. So now they have a majority, to a majority of Republicans now getting elected. They have more Republican seats than they did Democrats. They have the majority. And I'm like, it's unfair, but it's the way the game is played, right? Here is a clip here when this was announced, when this was first announced in Virginia. You have a House Speaker Don Scott and Senator Luis Lucas pro temporum. Let me see if I can find that clip for you all, and then we'll talk more about it on the other side.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Look, Donald Trump knows he's going to lose the midterms. He knows it. That's why he's started this mess in the first place. I try to tell you all that. First, he calls Texas, give me more seats. Then that's not enough. So he calls North Carolina, Missouri, Ohio. I need more. I need more. Today, we are leveling the playing field. These are not ordinary times, and Virginia will not sit on the sidelines while it happens. We made a promise to level the playing field, and today we're keeping our promise. Our maps are ready. Virginia's ready. We said 10-1, and we meant it. And we are proud to deliver a map that stands up for democracy, to stand up for Virginians, to stand up and give us a voice. He started this mess, and Virginia is going to finish it.
Virginia to the rescue. Senator Lucas said it best. We've been working really hard to make sure that we got this delivered. This is about leveling the playing field across the country. Republicans are gerrymandering maps to override the will of the voters. We just saw it in Texas, North Carolina, and Missouri. At Donald Trump's direction, they're manipulating election maps because they know they can't win on their agenda in 2026. So instead of changing their ideas, they're trying to rig the system. A 10-1 map levels the playing field, and we're ready to move forward. They will making good on our promise by releasing the maps publicly. We're going to get them released either by the end of the day or early tomorrow. We'll get those maps released. Putting them out in the open and allowing them to be debated the way they should be in a democracy. We're going to leave it up to Virginia voters. Maps are ready. Virginia's ready. As my senator said many times, 10-1. 10-1. Thank y'all.
So right there you have you had the two that was Senator that was House Speaker Don Scott and Senator Luis Lucas. Senator Luis Lucas by far is probably the well, now the third most powerful woman in the state of Virginia by far. She has been in office for years, and she's always been very vocal, because I think it was a quote when Fox News interviewed her and said, hey, Republicans started, and we're just gonna effing finish it. And that's I mean, hey, you can't be mad at that. So Virginia, well, you have folks that are disappointed because, again, they just feel as though like this is all a part of the political game, which we all get tired of, and I totally agree with that, right? As I mentioned, on April 21st, the ballot question will basically show, should Virginians allow the state legislature to redraw congressional districts now, mid-decade, instead of waiting until 2030? So you either vote yes for temporarily allowing the Virginia General Assembly to redraw the congressional maps, potentially replace the current map before the 2026 midterm election. So the current map, as I mentioned earlier, you have is a 6-5, 6 Democrats, 5 Republicans. So Democrats have the majority by one seat. Now, if they change it, will be 10-1, 10-1. All right. Then you have you can either vote no to keep the current drawn districts in place until the census cycle. Now, this article here had, let me see if I can get my notes straight here. So there was a story that came out where there were mailers that they were mailers that went out, um, mailers that went out, showing Jim Crow era and Ku Klux Klan imagery, right? And to give a little more perspective with this, this has been happening all across the Commonwealth, and it has been going viral. Controversial political mailer recently landed in the mailboxes across the Commonwealth to oppose the upcoming redistricting referendum. But what has people outraged is just the message isn't just the message, it's the imagery. The flyer invoked Jim Crow and the Ku Klux Klan using civil rights era imagery while warning voters that their voices were being silenced. Okay. Now, of course, backlash has been swift. Civil rights leaders, elected officials, organizations like the NAACP said using the trauma of Jim Crow era to influence a modern political fight is manipulative. I can't even say the word. Manipulative and offensive. The flyer has been connected to a political action committee chair, former Virginia State delegate, Republican A.C. Cordoza, who was a recent guest here on the show. And while I'm sharing this with you, let me at least show you the imagery. So this right here is posted from the president of the Hamptons NAACP chapter, Galen Knoyton, who's also very involved in the, with the Democratic Party of Virginia, as well as I believe in this administration of Abigail Spanberger. So here's she posted on her social media here. So this is an image. This is an image of the flyer that had went out. Okay, it says our ancestors fought to represent us. Now Richmond politicians are trying to take our districts away. Vote no and return your ballot immediately. And on the back, it shows, just like Jim Crow, they want to silence your vote. Okay, so a quote here. This is from the NAACP president, Galen Knoyton. She says here, NAACP conference calls out deceptive tactics aim at undermining black voter participants. Richmond, Virginia. The NAACP of Virginia State Conference strongly supports voting yes for redistricting referendum, which is crucial for maintaining the vote power of black Virginians. We denounce the manipulative mailers sent by a MAGA-aligned political action committee aimed at deterring black voters from supporting this referendum, which falsely compared this important measure to Jim Crow, a brutal system that stripped black Americans of their rights, their voting rights. This referendum addresses the manipulation of congressional seats designed to imbalance representation and secure conservative wins ahead of the November midterm elections. We cannot stand idly by and allow these reprehensible racist tactics go unchallenged. And she also puts, while the NAACP is nonpartisan, we are deeply engaged in political advocacy to safeguard our communities. So I won't read the remainder, but she had posted that on her social media there. I'll share it on the on my socials. But in addition to that, you also have an article put out by the by WHRO. I mean, Roland Martin literally did a whole episode on they did a whole episode on AC, and like I said, I've already been in conversations with him, not after this occurred, beforehand, because when I previously had him on the show, he was was out of time, and I said, well, let's try and have a part 2, because I originally had him on to discuss again the losses, what happened, due to the what happened in the last November election to the Virginia Republicans, because the turnout did not come in their favor, and what is Republicans doing now to possibly turn over the midterms, right? What are they going to do? Because right now it's not looking in their favors either. So that's what we were talking, because he happens to be a Black Republican. I wanted to have a conversation and hear his take as a Black conservative. Now, going back to these, to this here, it brings the questions: is this a legitimate political warning about redistricting, or is this cynical attempt to weaponize Black history and civil rights imagery to scare voters? Okay. And I will say that with all due respect, like, it's crazy now in 2026, somebody thought it was a good idea to pull out Jim Crow imagery to influence a modern political debate. I mean, look, that's the way the world is. We've seen it done we've seen politicians do this because they continue to push voters to say, hey, look, why this is important. Now, AC in the Republican Party, they're entitled to how they want to promote, or how they want to make their point across, just like any other side of the aisle does so. But again, is this about educating voters, or is this about manipulating voters? That's my frustration here. That's my frustration, because if we have to be honest, in the past, this has happened on both sides. Okay, both sides has fallen in play of, you can say, some form of a manipulating voters. But this right here, I mean, this is pretty intense. This is a pretty intense story happening here. And here's what House Speaker Don Scott had to say in regards to the recent mailers going out. Their plan on how Republicans plan on trying to sway voters to vote no. This is what he had to say.
Sending mailers, using images from the civil rights movement, brave men and women facing down the KKK, people who marched, who bled, who died for the right to vote, to try to trick Black voters in Virginia. I take that very personally.
They are the mailers that have so many people talking and angry.
These mailers are deeply offensive and deceptive.
Images of the civil rights movement invoking Jim Crow, saying they want to silence your voice, sent to African Americans to encourage them to vote no on the redistricting referendum, determining if congressional maps will be redrawn to favor Democrats. House Speaker Don Scott and Senator Mamie Locke described voting yes on the referendum as a way to punch back at President Trump's demand that some states redraw congressional districts to favor Republicans ahead of the midterms.
We're going to punch back. That's what this referendum does. It levels the playing field so that Virginians can protect fair representation at a moment when it is under direct threat.
Our people are being used in this process.
It is former House Delegate Republican A.C. Cordoza, an African American, who is taking responsibility for the mailers sent through a PAC that he chairs. He says he will continue to encourage people to vote no.
Richmond politicians, they're ripping apart majority minority districts in order to increase the number of white representatives from Northern Virginia. The same kind of tactics used back in the Jim Crow days.
If they think that people like me will go along with that kind of stupidity and take it, they're insane.
When I see people,
so that was a small clip brought to you by 13 News Now. You heard House Speaker Don Scott give his take. You also heard Senator Mamie Locke, who I believe represents that parts of that Hampton area. So now AC, you heard AC respond to it. He said, hey, look, he's not stopping whatsoever. He's going to continue to share his views on it. He's going to continue to tell voters no. An article from the Virginia Mercury where they have a quote from AC. AC's like, grow up. He defends the civil rights themed mailers in the redistricting fight. Says here, I can find his quote directly. He revealed that he serves as chair of 2 political action committees, Democracy and Justice PAC and Justice for Democracy, tied to the mailers campaigning, criticizing the April 21st referendum. Speaking at a news conference, he defended the strategy and dismissed outrage from Democratic officials and civil rights groups. Quote here says, I know there's some controversy behind the campaign. My statement is very simple. The people who have controversy with the mailer are the same people talking about fairness while constructing a map that disenfranchised Black voters in favor of Northern Virginia legislators. It's a shameful act. Now the mailer circulate. Again, I'm not going to repeat myself, but it features black and white imagery of civil rights march along with the message, our ancestors fought to represent us. The piece urges voters to oppose the referendum and return their ballots. Now, you've already heard the frustrations from different folks. Cordoza reject the criticism, arguing the mailers highlight what he believes is modern effort to dilute minority voting power. Quote here, he says, they don't like what they're seeing because shameful acts were committed back then and now they're being brought to light and reflected against them because this is what they are doing. If they don't like what the mailer represents, they should not be doing the action that the mailer brings up, period. The mailer is the backlash, he added, and they're having a hard time dealing with it because it reflects upon them and they're not used to being held accountable. And one of the biggest messages I have for the people in Richmond who are upset about the mailers is grow up. This is what accountability looks like. I mean, I personally want to, and I'm going to ask AC about this. I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to, share his same similarity take that he shared on this article. I don't think he's going to regret it after having him on the show. He is, an unapologetically conservative. He's going to stand by his views. You can, you don't have to disagree, you don't have to like it. But I will ask, I will have him on and ask him about it because this is, again, this moments like this does frustrate voters, right? Because when it's campaign season, man, you start seeing a little bit of everything. The attack ads or smear campaign, you start seeing so much, and it's like it's low-key a disservice to the American people. Now, the interesting thing is, he's taking blame. He's front and center of, he's the spokesperson, he's defending, he's the chair. In Virginia, during his tenure, he was the only Black Republican in the General Assembly. Is it a strategy behind this? You know what I mean? Like putting AC as the face, as the front, person to, to speculate, because this had to be funded by somebody. Who funded it? What groups are, it's a lot. It's a lot to impact. It's a lot to digest. But again, we will be having AC on very soon. I will definitely bring this back up, and we will see where we will see what will occur, or has occurred by the time he comes back. We don't have a specific date yet, but we will be having him back on the show to again for one, discuss why I wanted him on the show to begin with, in regards to what are Republicans doing during this midterms. Because if this is it, I mean, is this piece right here, is this controversy helping or hurting the Republican Party? Is this helping or hurting their chances in the midterm? Is this helping or hurting the local parties, right? The local Republican parties or local Republican candidates. Does it help or hurt is my question. So I'm gonna leave it at that for right now. Let me digress and move on to our next story, because this was an interesting story that came up here. Former MSNBC president Rashida Jones, it was announced that she would be excuse me, that she would be leading Pierce Morgan's new digital first media company, and the venture builds on his YouTube show, his popular YouTube show Pierce Morgan Uncensored, and aims to expand into a larger media focused on debate driven program. Because I remember when Pierce Morgan's Uncensored show first came out, it was a part of a new conservative channel based in his home in Great Britain, and it was a UK, excuse me, and it was called Talk TV. Talk TV was founded by the Murdochs, who owns the Fox Corporation, and Pierce Morgan was one of the faces of that network. The network didn't last that long. I think it went straight to digital, but he had ended up, he owned his show. And at first, Pierce Morgan had the show where it was a typical news program, him talking with one individual. He would have debates from time to time, but then once he owned the show, he's like, my debates bring more numbers. Let me continue to have that on. So he will have maybe like 5-6 people, all just like, it's like the Jerry Springer, in my opinion. Like it's really like that. It's all right, in my opinion. I've watched a couple of shows. Pierce will have one-on-one exclusives or one-on-one debates. Sometimes it works in his favor, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, it has made him a lot of money and quite a success. He had the show too on Fox Nation. That was short-lived. Now he fully owns it, and it's only on YouTube. The help of Jones and recently raised capital investments from Rain Ventures, Antenna Group, and Reuben Brothers, and the British Reporter hopes to build a new empire. Pierce developed an incredible platform with Uncensored that already is going to be head-to-head with legacy media, Jones shared in a statement with the Hollywood Reporter. Now, in today's fragment media world, audience are craving real conversations grounded in authenticity, rigor, and open debate. Uncensored not only delivers that, it's ahead of the curve. I can't wait to roll up my sleeves with Pierce and team to build on the strong foundation they created, scale it into a diverse and profitable network that champions talent and dominates the biggest categories. Morgan added, the ambition of Uncensored has always been to build a global home for fearless, high engagement content that cuts through the noise. Today's announcement will help us create exactly that. Rashida Jones is one of the sharpest minds in media, and her track record of building a transforming business speaks for itself. She has impressed me enormously with her enthusiasm and vision for the Uncensored brand, with the bold, unapologetic, dynamic leader, plus the backing of our incredible group of investors, we're now positioned to create one of the biggest news media entities in the world. Look, so many folks are building large entities, right? You got Mehdi Hassan with Zateo News. You have Don Lemon with Don Lemon Media. You have Roland Martin in the Black Star Network, Roland Martin Unfiltered. Oh gosh, who else has a large media company? There's a number of them. I feel like I'm blinking right now, but there's so many individuals. That Joyanne Reed has a large one. Midas Touch, Megan Kelly. I mean, good Lord, the list goes on and on of people that have built these multi-million-dollar digital media companies. Now you have Piers Morgan entering into that space. So Jones, who made history, and I was correct because in the beginning of the show I didn't know if she was or not, but she did make history as the first Black woman to lead a major cable network during her tenure as president of MSNBC, and is now stepping into a new role, helping a new company, and that is Piers Morgan's company. So, hey, I congratulate Miss Jones on this is looking like more of a step up because digital is growing more than linear. MS Now currently, I'm pretty sure, does not have the numbers that Piers Morgan has. Piers Morgan, I believe, is well over in the millions when it comes to viewership. Let me just take a peek as we're talking right now. He has 4.36 million subscribers on YouTube alone. Okay, alone. So yeah, he's not doing too bad. He's not doing too bad for himself. He's doing pretty. He's doing all right. He's doing all right, as the young folks say. He's doing all right. So yes, congratulations to Rashida Jones. And what's interesting too is that Piers and so many others, because look, Piers always says that he has conservative views and liberal. I don't know if he considers himself an independent. I don't know if he considers like a liberal, but a centrist liberal. I never really cared too much about his politics. Now, when he used to guest host The Five, he's never really debating the opposing folks like people in the liberal seat normally does. So I don't know really where his views land, but I'm pretty sure he was one of those individuals that used to criticize then MSNBC, now MS Now, for being, they're too partisan, they're too this, they're too that, they're one of the worst. And so it's interesting the fact that he continues to applaud and says how much he's a fan of Rashida Jones and all this stuff. I'm like, it's just interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. And I'm now interested to see what kind of, she's just going to expand the whole debate platform now, because to me, that's not real news. Like the debate thing is, people love it, right? But I don't see it as a benefit for people. I really don't. I see it as like entertaining, but I don't see it as educating and informing. I really don't. I don't with that, but I understand people are going to have different thoughts on why you always need to have the debate so you can hear different perspectives, and then make the people be the judge of that, right? Make the viewers be the judge of who's right and who's wrong. But yeah, I'm kind of on the opposing side. That's why I preferably don't do debates here on this show. Would I host some? I don't know. It's a thought. I just might. But I normally do. I normally do not. So let's go ahead and we're gonna take a quick. But again, congratulations to Rashida Jones, Hampton University grad. So good job for her. Let's see. We're gonna take a quick break here. And we might have enough to share one or two more stories here, my friend. So do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you're listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, that's that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
Rugged is the new smooth. Oh, we're back. Oh, sorry about that. Hey, what's going on, fam? Okay, so I think we might have time to squeeze in two more, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna start off with this one. So The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club hosted by DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, and comedian and actress Jess Hilarious. Well, Jess Hilarious is she's a multi-talented individual. She's not just those two as a comedian and actress, but she's also radio host, author. She's truly a talented individual, and let me tell you something, very, very funny comedian too. My wife and I, we've seen her twice on stage. So this recently was shared on social media, saying by The Source. Breakfast Club is reportedly seeing a decline in their online engagement after moving its video content from YouTube to Netflix. The show previously generated about 27 million monthly YouTube views, but recent numbers suggest that has fallen around 13 million views, nearly a 50% drop. I cannot read this evening, y'all. So the show also built a strong digital community with over 6 million YouTube subscribers, where interviews regularly went viral. However, full episodes are now behind a Netflix subscription paywall, making the content less accessible and harder to share. So, while the deal likely brings stronger guaranteed revenue through streaming, some fans believe the move has slowed the viral momentum that once helped the Breakfast Club dominate online hip-hop media. This is an awesome article. I will say this is really, really interesting because I see where they're coming from, but I also, as a businessman, I'm like, I see where Breakfast Club is coming from too. They still have social media for one, so they pull clips, and even their social media can go viral. So, and to my knowledge, the Breakfast Club still has a YouTube channel. Yeah, they still have a YouTube channel, and you can still see their full episodes on YouTube, I believe. Yeah, you can still see their full episodes on YouTube. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They can't see it's only through a paywall. Look. And I don't know if this was done due to this article here, but no. So yeah, they're still showing their full episodes on the Breakfast Club. They still have their YouTube, plus they have Netflix. Now, here's the thing. This was never an issue when the Breakfast Club had once aired their episodes on BET Plus. No, I'm sorry. It was BET, not BET Plus. I believe is the linear channel. It was for like maybe 1 hour, and it was in the morning, and it was streamed. It was aired on BET, which I thought was dope because BET is Black entertainment television. BET should have multiple different types of programming. You should have your TV shows, you should have your talk shows, you should have your news shows, you should have your documentaries. You should have it all on BET. I've always kind of had an issue with BET just for the sake of like, I feel like they could have much better content that can benefit the community, in my opinion, the way it used to be. Because in the past, they used to have some damn good content. Then they've been slacking, in my opinion. Now, going back to the Breakfast Club, I think is continuing to be one of the powerhouse shows on the planet, right? I love it that they're on Netflix. I love it that they still have YouTube. I love that they still have their social media. Netflix is a major opportunity, because here's the thing, y'all. Yes, YouTube is an easier platform to go through to show people, but Netflix is the head honcho of streaming. It is a popular entity. So literally, you have YouTube and you have Netflix. Why not? Why are people pissed off at the fact that people are winning, that our people in the culture is winning and doing good? Why is it all the time when they do good, people got to criticize it? I don't like this because it's restricting us, because it makes it harder for us to get. Then it's going to make it harder. All this is making y'all wait. That's all that is. It's making y'all wait. It is not hard. All y'all do is just have to wait. So please spare me the boo-hooing and like, man, they on Netflix now. And I only had Netflix. Yes, I used to have Netflix because I shared it with my family. And then when they got so strict on it, man, let me tell you something. Make up your mind. If you want to watch some Netflix, then pay for it. Okay? Like this is a comical, really, this is a comical story for me. And it's just, to me, it's surprising that that this is even an issue or causing them to drop in the viewerships. Like, again, I literally just pulled up their YouTube channel, and they still show their full clips. They still show their full episodes as well as clips. I don't know what the issue is, the source. I don't know what's going on, but I think they're growing. I think this is another way to grow. Let me tell you something. If I believe it's Bill Simmons who owns or who's co-founded the Ringer media company, if he's on Netflix, trust and believe Breakfast Club, they getting paid. They getting paid. It was definitely worth it. Look at who they're in company with. All these top podcasters, man, they doing their thing. Congrats to the Breakfast Club on being on Netflix. I tune in from time to time on Netflix. I tune in to YouTube. I'm gonna tell you another thing why I love it. Love them on Netflix, because commercial free, baby. Commercial free. I don't need to wait for ads to pop up on YouTube where I can just watch them thoroughly on Netflix. I like that. I love that option. Because I don't have a lot of streaming services in general that I don't do the I pay the regular subscription prices usually for most of the streaming platforms that I have, right? I'm not going to spend more just so I can have commercial free. If I see the ads, I'm going to see the ads, okay? I could care less about that. But yeah, I think this is a big deal, and congrats for Jess Hilarious, because obviously that was a huge upgrade for her in her career by joining the Breakfast Club. At first, she was a little rocky, I'll be honest, but she has continued to grow, get sharper, asking more questions, you know what I mean? Showing more of her humor. She's doing great. Lauren LaRosa, I think her name is. Superb journalist, great questions. Kudos to her. Obviously, you know how I feel about Charlemagne and DJ Envy. They're on there. But yeah, y'all, we gonna talk some more. Obviously, that's my time. Stay blessed, stay safe out there. Always stay informed, and be sure to tune into the next episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.